we had the pleasure of meeting as we were just getting going with this idea of a global institute, and we're just thinking about basing it here in Singapore. And I remember being so inspired by listening to Mrs. Chua's story, in particular about her journey and what led her to found the Northlight School. I think this is a room full of people, most of whom were brought to this work because of their commitment to serving the most marginalized young people. And in talking with you, I realized that's so much about your motivation, and that experience has done so much to inform your perspective. So I wanted to start there, and just with the question of what drew you to that, and what you feel like you most learned from that journey.
Thanks, Wendy. All right, just for our friends who are new to our education system, actually Northlight School is actually a school for the students who cannot clear the primary school leaving exam, which is a PSLE. And what happened is that because they cannot clear it, they have to repeat and a few times before they go to a vocational institute, and not many people want to go there. And we always feel that we need to give them a very good post-primary education. So the school was started in 2006. We took in our first batch of students in 2007, and this year is the school 20th anniversary. So this school, you find that, well, I give the name Northlight. North is the true north, and light is hope. And what happened is that we want to redefine success for our students. And we want to tell them that an exam result is a measure of one moment and not a measure of your entire life. We are very fortunate. We have a creative director who did the logo. I co-designed with him. And if you go to the school colors are purple and white. Purple is the color of the sky just before dawn, very dark. White is the color of the stars. So we tell our children and our teachers, the darker it gets, the brighter you shine. Will your problems be there with you? Yes, but you'll be able to overcome. So just to share about the part where Wendy asked, actually, I have a passion for this group of students. The only thing is that I have no problem passing exams, and I don't know whether I'm able to empathize with them. So when I went back for dinner with my parents, I asked my father, I said that I would like to take this to head the school. And the question he asked me was that, did ministry give you a choice? And I said, yes. Then he says, don't take it up, it's too tough. And if you're so discouraged, you may quit public service. And I don't want you to quit public service. At the dinner table, my husband was there. And I asked my husband, what do you think? He says, if your internal GPS asks you to do something, you just do it. All right? But I was very worried because I was just thinking, will people want to study in a school for failures? Technically, it's really for those who cannot clear the PSL. Will parents want to send their students, their children to study in a school of failures? Will teachers want to teach this group of students? Maybe one of them in the school already give them a lot of problems, and now it's the whole school. And I was actually very happy. What happened? We started the school, and no one wants to go to the school. Then my minister, Dan, who is now the president, all right, said that we must have at least the courage to try. If we don't try, nobody is going to be helped, and everything will be at status quo. So we had our teachers. We said we don't want teachers to be posted. We want teachers to apply. And first year, we only needed 20 teachers, but we have 150 teachers responded. That speaks a lot of our teachers. And the other thing is that when I first started teaching, I have a student in my form class that always gives me this emotional trigger. He kept tapping on the desk. And I say, Jai, stop it. It's noise. Then he says, Mrs. Chua, but to me it's rhythm. I say, but to me it's noise. All right, stop it. And what happened was many years down the road, he became a composer. And when he read in the papers that I'm starting the school, he came to the school and said, I will write the school song. So if you Google Northlight School Song, it's written by my student, my first batch of students when I was the form teacher. Let me show you one object lesson. This one I need to stand. Okay, so this is hope. When children cannot clear an exam, they always think that it's a situation of hopeless end. Right? Everybody is so disappointed with them, they get disappointed about themselves. So it's a situation where they find that they have no more hope. But when they meet with people who believe in them, like all of you, all right, in every country have this group of children who believe in them, give them a caring environment and tell them that success is not just about exams, it's a different thing, and it became a case of endless hope. Right, so this is the first. This one is not magic, it's called object lesson. At the end of the day, when you leave the room, you will forget all that I say, but you will never forget what you have seen. All right, so this is my response to Wendy's first question.
That's so beautiful. We talk so much across the Teach for All network about the crucial role of hope, especially in today's world, and helping all of our young people have hope. So Singapore is, as we all know, I mean, it's known all around the world for having achieved the very highest levels of excellence and equity academically. But it's also been on a journey for at least 15 years towards kind of reshaping its system towards holistic student development. And as you heard from Mrs. Chua's bio, she has been really working at every level of this system towards that end. And I'm just wondering what you've found to be most challenging and most important in that journey to reshape the practices and culture of the system towards holistic student development.
Okay, I would say that having worked with our Singapore's 33,000 teachers over a decade, when I was with AST, I'm very convinced that every teacher wants the best for his or her students. So all along, our teachers believed that if they can help our students to achieve academic excellence, they'll be able to help them to open up many, many options. So what happened is that, but even way back then, we feel that we need to change our question. It's not how well our students perform academically, but how well they are equipped to thrive in workplaces shaped by rapid change and the growing influence of technology and, in today's context, artificial intelligence. So we actually, even when I was in my previous role as Deputy Director General in charge of professional development, we started a teachers' work attachment, where teachers are attached to companies, organizations outside of education for a month, all right? And what happened was many of our teachers realized that what they value most was not what valued by the employers, and that's academic excellence. All right, it's the 21st century competencies that people would want to see in our students. Are they adaptable? Do they have inventive thinking? Are they able to work with people who are very different from them, like cross-cultural literacy? So because of that, we need to create time, because to develop 21st century competency really needs time. So we have actually many of the policies, and one of them is we remove all our mid-year exams to create time for our teachers to actually develop this in our students. So if you ask me what is this main challenge, is that to really help our teachers to shift, to make this shift, and to recognize that at the end of the day, if we develop the 21st century competency in our students, they will do well adequately, and that is really to bring out the best in them, and not just good in results only. Besides the 21st century competency, inside there will be a social, emotional competency as well, right? I mean, to be resilient, you have setbacks, it's okay. Like fail, F-A-I-L, is first attempt in learning, right? So failure is not fatal, success is also not final. So character development is key in the school and in all our schools. So this slide is interesting in the sense that This boy, he has severe ADHD, right? And for whatever reason, this teacher is very patient with him, right? So very patient. Then the boy graduated, did healthcare modules, and today he's a very good executive caregiver, very excellent in helping aggressive dementia patients. And what happened was in 2022, this teacher got a major stroke. It was so serious that even when I visited him, I do not know whether he could recover. Then this boy found out that the teacher had this major stroke. On his day off, weekly day off, he actually took time, visited the teacher and helped the teacher to rehab. In 2024, the teacher recovered completely. And this slide was a slide taken by the current principal to say to me, this teacher actually presented an assembly talk. The first slide, 2008, I helped the boy. 2023, the boy helped me. Right? And that is character development in our students. Okay, this slide, the boy on the left actually did not clear his primary school leaving exams twice. And he came to me when I was a principal. He says, Mrs. Chua, my dream is to be a designer, but my dream has evaporated. So I just say, just study hard, all right? And your dream will come back. That's very easy to say, but very difficult to do for him. So anyway, he actually did well, went to ITE, did well, and graduated with a diploma in Al Nanyang Polytechnic. And he was a designer for 7 years, okay? And what happened then, later, last year, the school needed, he changed a job, but different company, but same type of job as a designer, but different companies. There's a break of 3 months. The school needed a relief teacher for 3 months to teach ICT, and he went back and he taught. And later he was sharing with me that, Mrs. Chua, is so amazing. I says, why? When he was teaching, the students asked, sir, we have dreams, but our dreams have evaporated. He says, no, your dreams are not evaporated. About like 16 years ago, I also thought my dream has evaporated, but my dream came back. And he said, it's so amazing because I can imagine myself sitting on the chair. And he was, a teacher. Then he went back to be a designer. And after a while, he compared his role as a teacher, the experience as a designer. He applied to join the school, need to clear with MOE, he's cleared, and on 4th of May, he is now an official teacher in the school. The school that he has actually developed him. And what happened, this teacher is his maths teacher. And it's still there, and this teacher actually was formerly a Forex trader. But he changed profession to be a teacher, and he asked this teacher, Mr. Chi, how do you feel? Last time I was a student, now I'm your colleague. And the teacher says, it just reinforced my mission. Right, so it's very powerful. So the second object lesson is this one. Okay. Okay, this is a stainless steel square frame. What shape would you like to see without angles? Circle, but it's very tough. So whenever we encounter a problem, the first thing we need to do is reframe. And when we reframe, even a stainless steel square frame can also become a circular frame, which is our desired state. Okay, so
wow.
now it's good.
Okay, no one in this audience is going to wonder how you got where you are, Mrs. Chua.
Later I will teach you.
I heard so much in your answer, though. First of all, you are the chief evangelist for changing what happens in classrooms to reshape the future, right? Like, what we have in our classrooms today is the leaders we're going to have, like, tomorrow. And so that was very powerful. But what I'm also hearing in your answer is that you start with the question of teachers' orientations, like how they view their purpose in the classroom. And I think there's a lot that we can all take from that. But tell us, so this is a group of people who are really determined that we need to shift a system that all around the world is just, it can feel very stuck. Like our classrooms and schools really have not changed that much in decades. And we're trying desperately to pretty radically shift not only the policies, but the practices and the culture of the system. So what's your biggest piece of advice for us?
Okay, I mean, let's be honest, it's tough, all right? It's not so easy. Even though I share with you all these wonderful stories, we also have stories of children whom we cannot help. It's just that we can help most of them. It's always not how many people we cannot help, it's how many people we can help. So one of the advice would be to stay humble, stay centered, and stay committed to this long journey. Because our work is a marathon, it's not a sprint. If we just put in so much effort and we don't have the energy to sustain, we are going to disappoint a lot of people. The other thing is that if we were to put the student at the center of our decision making, we won't go very much wrong, right? And the thing is that we resist the temptation, believe that we have arrived. When it comes to learning, we can never say that we have arrived. And because of that, you'll find that in Singapore, in my previous role and now what we have continued, we have a teacher growth model. We have a sustained professional in-service profession development for our teachers from graduation to retirement. And the thing is that personally, I have this philosophy, attitude of fortitude, stay strong. Attitude of gratitude, be grateful for what we have and to remain connected to the meaning of what we do. And the last one is the attitude of solitude. Something very simple but difficult to practice because we are very busy, but every day if you can spend about half an hour to 45 minutes or so to reflect what we have done yesterday that we can do better today. If not, sometimes we tend to make the same mistake. I says, oh, why make the same mistake? It's because we didn't spend a lot of time to reflect. And shifting the culture of an education system is generational work and is among the most worthy things a person can do, right? And this Saturday, I'll be speaking to a group of scholars. Nowadays, for young people, I cannot tell them I have been in the profession for 45 years. All right, they'll say that, my children says, if I stay in a job for 10 years, people will think there's something wrong with me. And the thing is that my message to them is that, do you want to give your first career to be the one of touching lives? First career, okay? And if we put our hearts into the mission will always be in our heart. And as people working with young people, we must have this abundance mentality. Have you heard of this phrase, the whole is greater than sum of its parts? That means, the parts we do individually is like that, but if all of us come together, the whole is more than sum of its parts. I will do the third object lesson, but for this object lesson, I need a volunteer.
Alina.
Okay. Can you stand here? Yeah.
Alina.
Alina?
Yes.
All right, so just one hand. Okay, so I give Alina one red ball. Okay? And I have another red ball. If I were red ball here, and I give her another red ball, close tight, how many red balls here? Cannot be two lah. The sum is more, the whole is more than sum of its parts. One lah. No, the one is like you devalue, All right, so what you do is you throw up.
Throw out.
Up.
Throw out. Throw
Yes. Wait,
Thank you.
All right, so that means don't worry about this. Later we can pick it out. Okay, don't get distracted. So the whole is more than sum of its parts. That means 1 plus 1 is not equal to 2. It's actually more than 2. Okay, thank you. Okay, I just want to show you this book. This is written quite some time ago in 2010 by the teachers in the school. What happened is that the teachers from Northlight said that we came to transform the children, but in the process, they are being transformed. So they wrote this book, Transformed by the Mission. So all of us, when we work with young people, we are going to give them hope, and at the same time, in the process, we are being inspired and we are being transformed in the process, not just we transform them. Thank you.
So beautiful. Thank you so much. What I'm taking from that last answer is that it all starts by ourselves, transforming ourselves and working collectively, and that it's going to be a long game. All themes that we talk about a lot across the Global Institute and across Teach for All. Thank you so much, Mrs. Chua.
Thanks, Wendy.